Text. Narrated virtual tour. David H. Koch Hall of Fossils, Exhibit Introduction. Logo. National Museum of Natural History. A spiral-shaped collection of illustrations depicting prehistoric animal and plant life is displayed to the left of an entrance to the Hall of Fossils. It reads, "Journey through deep time. Explore how life evolved as the world changed. Travel back to the origins of life on Earth." Within the hall, under a high glass ceiling, various specimens and recreations of ecosystems are displayed, including a fossil skeleton of an American mastodon, a long-necked dinosaur, and a forest with a tree canopy extending out into the hall.
Welcome to the David H. Koch Hall of Fossils, the Deep Time exhibit. My name is Camila Souto, and I'm a Smithsonian postdoctoral fellow.
We move right to left along a timeline of the history of the Earth, from today back to 4.6 billion years ago, when the Earth formed. A tiny sliver at the far right shows when humans appear in the timeline within the Quaternary period, going back over 200,000 years to the first modern humans. A mass extinction event is noted between the Cretaceous and Paleogene periods, between the Mesozoic and Cenozoic eras, with the first primates recorded in the latter at 34 million years ago. Other mass extinction events are noted between the Triassic and Jurassic periods, the Permian and Triassic periods, in the latter half of the Devonian period, between the Ordovician and Silurian periods, and in the middle of the Cambrian period. Beyond that, the timeline spirals downward, with Earth forms in the center at 4.6 billion years ago. A title above the timeline reads, "Navigating the Deep Time Exhibition." Visitors can find out where they are in time by reading the time scales on the rails in front of the exhibit cases.
What we normally think of as the distant past is actually a tiny fraction of Earth's history. The story of life on Earth is too big to be grasped in terms of human lifespans. To understand geologic events and evolution, we have to think in millions and billions of years. That's what we call deep time.
Specimen displays in the middle of the hall feature, from left to right, a fossil Diplodocus skeleton, a fossil T-Rex skeleton posed eating a Triceratops, and a fossil Edmontosaurus skeleton, with modeled trees representing the plants of each time period interspersed between them. Large interactive video screens are positioned on a platform in the foreground.
The more than 700 fossil specimens in this hall, ranging from plants and insects to mammals and dinosaurs, tell the dramatic story of life's 3.7 billion year history.
To the right is a view of the front end of the fossil hall, featuring fossil skeletons of early mammals, such as a dog, camel, and horse, and of an American mastodon. We pan past upright exhibit panels with the titles, Past, A Much Warmer World, Present, Rapid Warming, and Future, Too Hot to Handle.
Deep Time draws a connection to Earth's distant past to the present day and into the future.
On the platform with interactive screens, we pan to the right, the Warner Age of Humans gallery. Text on a wall at the entrance reads, "We're changing the planet faster than any other species in Earth's history." What does this mean for our future?
Although we begin with the origin of life on Earth, our fossil hall is unusual in that it includes an Age of Humans gallery, where you can learn about how humans are a geological force that has shaped the planet, and how the choices we make today will impact our future as a species.
A panel reads, "The evidence is clear. We are causing rapid, unprecedented change to our planet. But there is hope. We can adapt, innovate, and collaborate to leave a positive legacy."
The exhibition is arranged by time period and was designed so that it could be explored going either forward or backward in time.
On a corner wall between enclosed displays, a deep time map of the hall is displayed entitled, "Travel Back in Time." It depicts all of the exhibits grouped by colors correlating to time periods, and states, "Where you are in the exhibition tells you when you are in time." In another area is the Fossil Lab, a large space reminiscent of a working paleontological lab enclosed by glass windows. It contains various fossils, some on worktables and specimen cabinets. Exhaust hoses are hooked to pipes in the ceiling, and microscopes are visible on some of the workstations.
At the Fossil Lab, you can learn more about how fossils get to the museum and how we keep them safe for future generations.
A fossil bone bed is displayed under glass in an exhibit case. It contains dozens of small fossil bones. The title among photographs and text above it reads, How do fossils form? An adjacent display showing a cross-section of layers of rock is titled, How do we date fossils?
The Carly Whitney Base Camp. We answer burning questions about paleontology and how the Earth works.
In another area, a diorama in a glass case depicts what appears to be plant life between horizontal layers of spongy fungi.
Take some time to examine our beautiful dioramas. Each time period is represented, and these miniature versions of ancient ecosystems are accurate to the latest scientific understanding, right down to the veins of each tiny leaf.
A small diorama in a cylindrical case displays a scene of fallen logs and a dead tree, with ferns and small plants growing around them. A hippo-like animal grazes, and a tall, thin lizard-like animal approaches the dead tree. We pan across 3 large diorama cases portraying life in the early ocean, including plants, sponges, corals, crinoids, and swimming marine creatures.
Deep Time doesn't just tell the story of evolution of life. We also show how ecosystems have changed over time and paint a picture of what everyday life would have been like for these amazing extinct creatures.
A tall black pillar in the hall reads, 252 million years ago, mass extinction. A timeline that spans an entire wall below shows life before and after the extinction, which was caused by volcanic events.
Major mass extinctions divide the hall at the black pillars, marking the beginning and end of important chapters in life history. These extinction events represent major climatic shifts or geological events that drastically alter the biosphere.
A panel shows an asteroid heading for Earth, with the text, Asteroid impact triggers mass extinction. Radiating outward above a more detailed timeline display are curves showing the effects within weeks, months, and years, tsunamis and wildfires, acid rain, devastated landscapes, before the beginnings of recovery and rebuilding.
They demonstrate that all life is connected through time and across the planet, and that changes in one place can have wide-reaching effects everywhere else.
A long exhibit case spanning a wall houses many ocean fossils, both large and small, including a large fish skeleton with a small fish skeleton in its stomach area.
Along the back wall of the exhibition, you can read plesiosaurs, mosasaurs, and an ancient walrus, along with a host of other species that have called the ocean their home.
Inside an exhibition case titled Dinosaurs in a Flowering World, a large T-Rex skeleton is posed standing over and biting the neck of a triceratops lying dead on the ground.
Along the central walkway, you find some of the favorites, like the nation's T-Rex, Hatcher our Triceratops, and the Great American Mastodon.
A mastodon skeleton with enormous tusks stands inside of a glass enclosure.
These huge specimens certainly capture the imagination, but they aren't the only important players in Deep Time.
An enlarged image titled, Chalk It Up to Plankton, depicts microscopic plankton of various rounded and elongated shapes.
If you dig deeper, you learn about how even the tiniest of fossils, like pollen and algae, have been vital parts of Earth's connected systems.
A collection of microfossils are displayed in a petri dish inside of a small case, along with illustrations of the animals they came from.
Much of what we know about ancient atmospheres and how climate has changed over millions of years, we have learned from putting fossils under the microscope.
A bronze statue depicts Charles Darwin sitting on a bench while holding a notebook in his lap and looking upward. Behind him, a large image of 4 birds in flight reads, Life evolves in response to a changing Earth.
Charles Darwin's final words in his book on the origin of species watch over the whole hall.
A large banner with Darwin's words hangs just below the hall's glass ceiling.
From so simple a beginning, endless forms, most beautiful and most wonderful, have been and are being evolved. I'm so excited to share some of that wonder with you and help you see yourself as a part of the spectacular history of life on our planet.
Text. Thank you for joining us today. Thanks to all who made today's program possible, our donors, our volunteers, the American public, and to all partners who help us reach, educate, and empower millions of people around the world, today and every day, free of charge. naturalhistory.si.edu/join-us. Logo. National Museum of Natural History.